Using a bar graph with addition. Our learning target today is I can interpret a bar graph and use addition to answer questions. And you'll know you're successful today when I can use addition to answer questions about a bar graph. So, I have this bar graph right here, and we have to fill this out. So it's not filled out for us this time. And it looks like the title of this bar graph is called Esther's Daily Raffle Ticket Sales. So let's take a look at the problem and see what about Esther's raffle tickets are we going to be having to figure out. So Esther's school sold raffle tickets last week. The table below shows the number of tickets sold each day. Use the information in the table to complete the graph. Okay, so like I said, that bar graph already has a title for us, Esther's Daily Raffle Ticket Sales, right up at the top. Here it is. And then it's a blank bar graph. So on the sides you can see it says number of tickets. And then on the bottom it says day of the week. So if you take a look at this table right here, it has Monday through Friday on that table. And they even have Monday through Friday all along the bottom. So that part's already there for us. But let's look at Monday. How many raffle tickets did Esther sell on Monday? Well, I have to fill out 55. So I'm going to get a marker. I'm going to use black for Monday. And I am going to mark where the 55 is to kind of help me out. There it is. So as you can see, I'll try to make it up close for you. That is going to be in between the 50 and the 60. We don't have 55 on the bar graph as a number, but since it's in the middle of 50 and 60, then that would be 55. So I'm going to just outline my boxes, and now I'm just going to shade it in. So it looks kind of like that. Okay, so I got Monday. Now we need to do Tuesday. I will use orange this time. So for Tuesday, how many do we have? We have 40. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look at Tuesday. I'm going to look at the 40, and I can kind of use my finger to kind of see where they meet. Okay, so there's 40. All right, and I'm going to mark it right there. I'm going to color it in. So I have 40. I'm going to make that a nice straighter line because that is not very good. My marker is not the greatest. There we go. So we have 55 for Monday, and it leads right to that line, right? And then for Tuesday, 40, and then it meets right at the 40. So let's fill it out for Wednesday, 25, Thursday, 35, and Friday, 80. I'm going to do that in my own time, and then I will show you when it's all done, and then we'll answer some questions about it. All right, I finished my bar graph, and as you can see, I used 5 different colors. So I did Wednesday, and so that was at 25. So just like earlier with the Monday one, I had to go in the middle of 20 and 30. That makes 25. Again, because 25 is not a number that's on the side of that bar graph. And then for Thursday, 35. So I kind of had to do the same thing. I had to go to the middle if you go across in between 30 and 40. And then for Friday, oh my goodness, 80 ticket sales. So I had to go way up, and across is 80. So now that we have a finished bar graph, I have some questions for you. So I'm going to leave it like this so that you can see the numbers and the bar graph. And my first question for you is how many raffle tickets were sold on Wednesday. So this would be a great place to pause your video if you are at home or at school. And I want you to think how many raffle tickets were sold on Wednesday. There are 25 raffle tickets. So 25 raffle tickets were sold on Wednesday. And as you can see, not only in the green for Wednesday, but also if you took a look at that table up there that we had to use to fill this out, right? So I have another question. How many raffle tickets were sold on Monday and Thursday combined? So together you have to combine Monday and Thursday. So how could we do that? This would be a great place to pause your video too. I'm going to show you how I would figure it out, and we'll see if it's the same way that you figure it out. Right, so for Monday and Thursday, I have to look at Monday first, right? Because we want to know how many were all together, Monday and Thursday combined. Just Monday and Thursday. So Monday, remember, that stopped at 55. So when I make a math problem, I'm going to start with the number 55. Okay? And then, let's look at Thursday. That was in purple. So that was 35. So remember, that's where that line ended, or I can look up here, and it also says 35. And what do you think we'll do when we have numbers that we need to combine? We need to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Well, when we combine things, we need to add them together. So I am going to add 55 plus 35. And a great way I thought to do this was just looking at the ones and the tens. So let's look at our ones first. We have 5 plus 5. And 5 plus 5 is 10. Okay, so 5 plus 5 equals 10. And then let's take a look at our tens place. We have a 50 and a 30. So 50 plus 30 gets us 80, right? Because 5 plus 3 is 8. So 50 plus 30 is 80. And now we have a 10 and an 80 that we need to add together, right? So 10 plus 80 equals 90. So that's 90 raffle tickets that were sold on Monday and Thursday combined. Okay, that's a lot. All right, I have one more question for us, and that last question is, how many raffle tickets were sold all together that week? How many raffle tickets? So it might say how many raffle tickets altogether, or how many raffle tickets total were sold that week. So anytime if it says all together or total, that's my clue that I need to add all of them together. Okay? So, let's take a look at our bar graph again. I have to add together 5 numbers, right? 55, 40, 25, 35, and 80. So those are all the numbers I need to add because that's every day of the week. So I am going to write all those numbers down. 55 plus 40 plus 25 plus 35 plus 80. And oh my goodness, that is a lot of numbers going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it apart and do little bits of this at a time. Okay? So by doing that, I'm just going to do some parentheses because that is my little clue that I'm going to solve what is in parentheses first. Okay? So we're going to ignore for now the 25, 35, and 80. I'm just going to do 55 plus 40 right now, okay? So 55 plus 40. Okay, so if I know 50 plus 40, is 90, it would be like 90 plus 5, right? Because I did 50 plus 40. Well, plus 5 more is 95. Okay, so now I have 95 plus 25 plus 35 plus 80. Okay, so we still have our 25, 35, and 80 because we didn't add them yet. And now what I'm going to do is I think, 95 plus 25, that might be a little tricky. I think I'm going to put 25 and 35 in parentheses. So if you remember back to our properties, the associative property tells us when we use parentheses and we add, it doesn't matter what numbers I add together first. If I did 95 plus 25, if you wanted to do that, maybe that's the easier one for you, you could do that. It would still work. If you wanted to do 35 plus 80, that would be okay too. So I'm just choosing to do 25 plus 35 because personally I think that's easier to do first, but it might be different for you. But it does not matter because altogether, no matter what, we get the same answer. As long as I do my adding correctly, right? Okay, so let's do 25 plus 35. All right, if I know 20 plus 30 is 50, and I know 5 plus 5 is 10, 50 plus 10 gets us 60. Okay, so I got 60 for that problem. So I'm going to go to a new page. I got 60 for this answer. But remember, we still did not add the 95 or the 80. So I'm going to write that down now on my new piece of paper. So 95 plus 60, because that's what we just got, plus, what was that other number? 80. That's right. Okay, we're getting down there. All right, next, since my 80 and my 60, those are 10 numbers, right? I think I'm going to put those in parentheses. So again, it does not matter what numbers I put in parentheses, but that's like my clue that I'm going to add those first. And that's what I want to add first, personally. Okay? So 80 plus 60, well, if I know 6 plus 8, I can figure out 60 plus 80. And that would give me 140. And then we know 0 and 0. There's our 0 from that. Okay, so we have 95 plus 140. Well, 95 is really close to a special number that we work with a lot in 3rd grade. And if I round it up to 100, that's really close to 95. So I'm going to turn that into a 90, the 95 into 100. So by doing that, I have to add 5 to 95 to get to 100, okay? And I'll tell you what to do with that 5 in a minute because we can't keep that extra 5. I'm just going to add it to it right now to make this easier. So we have 100 plus 140. Oh, that's way easier to add now, right? A lot easier than 95 and 140. So let's look at our hundreds. Okay? 100 plus 100 is 200. 0 plus 40 would give us 40. And then 0 plus 0 is 0. So am I done yet? No, not yet. Remember I had to add that 5? I have to take it away now because this was not a 100. I made it into 100 just to make my math easier. Now I got to take it away. So 240 minus 5, oh, that's 235. So that is our grand total. That is how many total raffle tickets Esther sold that week. Remember, your goal today was I can interpret a bar graph and use addition to answer questions. And you'll know you're successful today when you can use addition to answer questions about a bar graph.